So if you want to trade the apex of this is somewhere between '03 and '05. Is not a horrible place if you're wanting to take a stab at an apex trade. We're getting near, so I'm just watching. If we start slamming back in, we will pay attention to how this is trading. So we're certainly in the drop zone. Battle plan 1, as we said in the AM briefing portion of this, we're looking for price to get up here a little bit more. We're at 7,600. It made it. Man, you could still be long from yesterday if you had the type of account that could hold overnight. My goodness, how beautiful. Doubles. As I said, they're like the 80s Bulls playing against a high school team. Somewhere between '03 and '05, I think, is an acceptable if you're going to trade the apex. Of course, be small. We're extremely counter. I am short one contract here at '06. And going to give it just a little bit of space. And then that's going to be it. If it makes a new high, I will be out. And I'll wait for something new, as we are extremely counter. So I'm short '06 here. And if it makes a new high, I will be out. Period. End of story. Shorts are counter, small if at all. And one more point and I'll be out. I'm risking 3 points. And then I will wait for signs of a reversal, because I'm not going long here. That's just not going to happen here. If we get a reversal, I'll play that. If I take a 3-point loss, oh well. And basically, if you took like an '03 short, that's a 6-point stop loss. And as we talk about, if you're going to take an apex trade, you tend to want to be small. You want to be with a hard stop in. And 6 points should never ruin anyone's day. Small. I could move it to a full 6-point loser, but I think I'm going to keep it at 3. If we get under the opening, I'll be looking to add to my trade. Well, it's either going to be a 3-point stop or it's going to be a beautiful trade. Although if I was long from yesterday's battle plan, that'd be great. You'd be like, go, 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 gadget. All right, another point and I'm out. I'll wait for structure. I'm out. Wasn't horrible. I was in that move, came back, then it was back in the profit, and then it took me out. Oh well. 5 minutes to the top of the hour. Bulls control, actually dominate. I would now wait for structure. Bulls control, shorts are counter, small if at all. We talked about a short between '03 and '05. I took '06 with a 3-point stop, took a 3-point loser, and now waiting for something new. We take break-even trades, we take small losses, we take small wins and big wins. But we never take a big loss. When you are counter in this type of extreme move, you must be small and perfect. Match the high. Let's see if it can break this trend line now. So it bounced off the front side. There's no more bounce levels there, I guess, other than perhaps this. Bulls dominate. I can't even use the word control. Bounced off that front side twice, still bounced up. Bulls control. Shorts are counter, small if at all, never making things worse. Now we're looking for the bears to be able to do, well, there are no bears, but on the down move, it's got to create something. It's got to break something now. Safest bet is to wait for the second ladder. We can't even break anything to attempt a first ladder. Can't even outline a first ladder. The only thing we outlined was a potential apex short. First thing it's got to do is break this little bitty, tiny, itsy bitsy, teeny weeny trend line. See if we can stay below that line. And what happens at 76.02? Bulls control, shorts or counter, small if at all. Perfection if you're going to short. Hard to want a long above the expected range. No one ever said, man, I cannot wait till price gets above the expected range. I'm going long. I'm still waiting for a reversal. May not happen. Hadn't happened in weeks and weeks. But we can still get a short, make 10, 20, 30, 40 points. Doesn't mean it's an apocalypse trade. Not going to hold it over the weekend anyway. Are we going to stay under this level? Big risk reward though if you took that trade. Drop to a 30-second chart here. I mean, touched it beautifully. My goodness. Next big test is going to be the 76.02. Okay, now we've had a clear break of this miniature trend line we were looking at. Now kind of back testing this trend line here. If it bounces and makes a new low, that will be a trend line. Nice. Come on, baby. Now it's bouncing perfectly off levels that push price down. I drew two lines, this line and this line. And that is beautiful. Now what happens here? This is key. This is key. We wanted to rip it like it's not even there. Slam back down. That's what we'd like to happen. Slam back down. Come on. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Don't do it. You know, when we see it often, when the bulls control, shorts often double tap. When the bears control, longs often double tap. And it makes it real difficult in that sense because the double taps are just so prevalent when you counter. Every now and then you get the touch and go. Like this one gave the touch and go. This one's doing a double tap. And it might reclaim it and go make new all-time highs. What do I know? And that 76.02 here area, just too strong. Bulls control. Do you dare take 09 again? So if this thing pushes back into here and comes back up there, if you want to be aggressive short, somewhere right here about this 06 would make a lot of sense because now we've tested this level, right? Let's see what happens. If this thing pushes through, like I say, comes back to 06, that very well could be a short zone because I would now count this break level as tested. All shorts are counter, small if at all, but I'm not really looking to go long here, so I don't care. I know I have 16 points to play with today. That's what I know. I got 16 points. I've used 3 of them. I like that this break level was already tested here. So the odds are the next time it can do a nice push through. It already had its bounce. Was it going to have a second bounce? I never know that. Neither do you. Nobody knows that. We're really good that it's going to bounce one time. So it bounced beautiful here and it came back and retested it again. And as we said, we often see that. When the bulls control and you're going short, it double taps many times. When bears control, it doubles taps longs many times. If you're short, try to stay short. It's not every day we're on a 30-second chart looking at these gyrations, but this is where I'm looking to engage where the apex is. Just that's where I'm looking to engage. Doesn't mean I'm going to be right. If you're short from above, try to stay short. You could be in a monster trade. Price went, how far did price go above? You know, price went 7 points out of bounds. It certainly colored outside the line. We tend to like it to bounce off the line perfectly, but it colored outside the line. We get under the opening, look to add to your short. All right, if you're short, try to stay short. Unfortunately, price colored 7 points outside of the line, which stinks, but still we're looking for the right trades in the right trade location here. Will it follow through? No clue. If it gets under the opening, look to add to your short because we will have lost the opening and the VWAP. Boy, look what NQ did too. Beautiful. If you want to be aggressive short, anything between 01 and 06 could represent an area to entertain it. You never have to short ES to make your points, but if you're looking for a long, I think you might want to come back next week. We're challenging our overnight high against the VWAP. Not a bad long. If a person really wanted to be long, you can journal that. Retesting the overnight high against the VWAP with bull's control. Just don't let it go against you and hurt you. That's a journalable long for sure. If we lose this and fail to get the London low, get back above the opening, that's a journalable long. But remember, we've already hit the expected range now. That's a big magnet. And we got there. So we've made an all-time high in the RTH, which is appropriate. So I'm personally not looking for longs here, but that's two possible trades you could take. That overnight against the VWAP, you can journal it. That would have gotten me out at break even, I'm sure of it. We make points three ways. One is through the battle plan, where do we want to look for longs and shorts? Some people trade that exclusively. We trade on Zoom, takes our thousands of hours, and we trade based off what's happening. So sometimes I'm on a 30-second chart, we're going long and short. Sometimes there's absolutely nothing. So I would Zoom just consider, I call that butt time. What are we seeing based off butt time? That's a high probability trade. And then core strategy, which you will learn when you learn those bounce levels. And for some people, their trade plan would say, I never short. So it doesn't matter what I say about shorting. Some people say, I only trade battle plan trades. They don't care if it bounces off the overnight high against the VWAP and that made a long. So their individual plan could be a subset of everything. And as I said, when we were coming up to here, I was looking for us to get to the apex, and then I'm looking for a turnaround. I took a trade there, as you know. It's up, then break even, then up, then break even. Then I took a small loss. We take small losses. We take break evens. We take small wins, but we never, ever take a big loss. We're still above the VWAP. We're still above the opening. NQ is coming back to its VWAP. So we were looking for shorts in the right places. I like that. Very nice. Very nice. If you're short, try to stay short. And we're going to be looking to targeting down here. This 09 turned out to be the best entry. You had to be able to survive a near double tap. It actually didn't double tap it, but it got close. Short, try to stay short. For the mapped out battle plan 1, this is basically where I thought the entry might exist. I mean, remember, that's 15 hours ago. So let's see if we can lose the opening. If you're short, stay short. I'm short from up here, but that doesn't matter. You do you. I wanted to lose this, and I might add at the label. If we get the label trade, that's where I'll probably add, just to kind of stick to the battle plan level there. And that's where at 86. Very nice. So if you're short, try to stay short. Nice bounce off the opening. That's a trade we also take a lot often. Fonzie, is when it comes back to an opening like that, often take that, especially if there's a big magnet that hasn't been taken yet. So like here, when this thing popped up, if a person really wanted to be aggressive long there, taking a long off the opening, because you got what? You got the magnet of the overnight high, the all-time high, and you got the magnet of the expected range. Not a horrible trade. All right, nice bounce off the opening. That's a journalable trade, as we said. You can journal that. You went long at the opening when bulls control. Now, if we lose that opening again, I am getting excited. So if you're short, try to stay short, because the risk reward that there's a big move down is pretty high. You can't go from green to red, though, now. That's just the number one rule now. All right. Now, bouncing off this little trend line here. Can we get under? I'd be looking for this and this. All right, can we lose the opening, get back and lose the low? That gets us back inside of Friday's range. Now they're giving evidence of laddering back up, which sucks. But we can't be shocked, right? If we get back into range and take back those single prints we pointed out, that's asking for an awful lot. That's asking for an awful lot. But from this outline short to here, 70 points, you know, it's worth, in my opinion, if you're short and you're playing that game, see if we can do it. You just can't go to red now. It's Friday, final trading day of the month. You just can't go red now. Not the easiest trading today. It's Friday. It colored 7 points outside of our line, but eventually had a nice reversal short back in. If you took 09 to the opening, there's your almost 20 pointer. We said surely we can make 5 to 20 points on a short through here, and only made it to 20 points so far. And now it's giving evidence of laddering back up, which stinks. All right, let's lose the opening. Let's lose the VWAP. Let's start giving some of this laddering here. And in fact, for battle plan 1, I used a very specific word. We take the RTH high, move towards the expected range, and slam back under the RTH high. The RTH high is our low. So we need a slam. Bounced off that front side again. Bulls control, shorts or counter, small if at all. It made it to the opening. Nice bounce. Double tap into that front side there. So green, beautiful green week insured. Given some laddering back here, back to 7,600. Ideally, I would like to see it not get above here, but oh well, if it does. I'd like to see this stay open. So that would be the goal, that it doesn't go any higher than that. That's the high tick for this little move. That's what I'd like to see. And then it loses the opening, slams back underneath, according to our battle plan notes. I'll turn off the essentials. I don't need all that. Slam back under the RTH high. Possible short idea. All shorts are considered counter, small if all, never making things worse. Taking your loss or break even trade like a professional trader. I just had to add that extra stuff. Very nice. Well, that was the high tick so far on that little move. The goal was for it to not get above there. I was using that as a protection layer for my own short. Certainly not the easiest trading, but I believe we're looking for the right things. Come on. Come on. Slam. 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 Come on. Bulls control, shorts or counter, small if at all, never making things worse. Now let's see if we can get a slam down. So bulls dominate. Even if we make it down to the single prints, the bulls still control. Final day of the month. Made it to expected range where we were looking for a turnaround trade. Turn back on the essentials. Bulls control, shorts or counter, small if at all. Finally made it under the opening. I just didn't feel aggressive enough yet to add there. I was really hoping for a little bit more of a slam down. We start getting monster 15-point candles down, no knife catching. Sure, bulls control, but bulls took the magnets to the north. Not that they need it, but man, I'd be real difficult for me to want along. If it reclaims this opening and bounces, now that it's softened up this area, it would not be a shock to see it go and fill that. So if it reclaims this opening and you are really interested in getting long based off that, you can journal that trade. My focus is on shorts here, so which is a rare focus for me. Very nice. It's technically at the label, but I don't know. I'm just not ready to add. I'm normally a little more aggressive on the ads. All right, so we took the IB low. We took the London low. If we reclaim the opening with a vengeance, reclaim the opening with a vengeance and you're wanting to get long. That makes 100% sense to me. If you're short, try to stay short. There could be a beautiful reward. Bulls control, shorts are counter, small if at all. If you are short from above, try to hold a runner. If we fill the single prints, that will be an amazing trade. If you take a break even, that's okay. If you take a small loss, that's okay. If you got short from up here, though, you absolutely can't allow it to go against you. You wanted to just play the 1 minute break levels and be 2 points above it, because there is no structure on a 3 minute chart here. Well, I guess there is on that little where we wanted that to be the top of the move. If you're intraday trailing drawdown, you want to be tight, just be behind the 1 minute break levels and let it keep going. Well, alrighty then. Bulls control. All right, let's see what in the world they do with this. All right, is the opening going to defend price? So we said if it gets back above the opening, you were wanting to go long. I'm not interested in a long here because it already took the magnets, in my humble opinion. But that's a journalable trade. Now, where would your stop be? Well, if you moved it 2 points behind the low, no, you can't do that. Too big. On a 1 minute chart, you kind of got a front side there. So no backup levels there. It would just be a level trade with a small stop. All right, shorts, this is your chance. What you gonna do? All right, if you took that opening, you took a little bit of heat. Well, that's going to be it for me. I was hoping we made it down to target to the single prints. Did not happen. I'm not going to fight it anymore. Green day insured, and I'm not willing to risk a penny on it. I came into the day risking 16 points. I took a 3-point loser. Then I took a break even, and to be honest, I simply re-entered with a market order. I said that you can't be out right here. I appreciate the really strict management there, but you can't be out. So I re-entered with a market order, and I knew we had that 7609. I was like, the odds are it's going to double tap it. I didn't get short at 7609, and so I knew I had enough points that I could play that, and if it made a new high, I'm out. So I took a chance on that. So I will not give myself an A in discipline today, because I did the market order to re-enter. Just to go over that. So we drew this first line here, had a nice bounce and a move down. I had a second line drawn here. I took that short right there. It went down. I was like, cool. And it got me out. And I'm like, George is probably going to double tap the 7609. In fact, that's why we were talking about double taps. So I just did a market re-enter on that. When this point here, and I said that hopefully that's the apex of that up move. And it was. And so I just moved my stop just behind that. So that will be it for me. I'm going to call it, go grab my wife. We're going to go for a walk, and that's going to be it for me, guys. I will see you later. Thank you for trading with me. I was hoping we'd be able to trade longer, but I'm not going to fight it anymore. And I feel like that's exactly what I would be doing, is fighting. So take my green and be done. I will see you later.